Well, I am back from the first trip with the gear. You can see here it's just kind of airing out. We took a trip up to Montgomery Pass for a hunting expedition. My cousin and I did. What you see here is the hammock that I made. An old down sleeping bag. That's a wool army blanket, and then my coat on the side. Camp was at about 11,500 feet. Nighttime temperatures dipped down into the low 30s, high 20s. Daytime temps were pretty good. They were around 50 some degrees. The gear held up pretty well. What you don't see featured is a roll of Reflectix. It's just a common insulator. The Reflectix was put in between the army blanket there as a pad, and then I laid on top of that in the sleeping bag, kind of as a overquilt kind of a deal. Anyway, I'll link to another website that shows how I built it. Here's a picture of the pack and then the Reflectix that I was telling you about. That roll of Reflectix would just fit unrolled inside that army blanket as a pad in there. This pack is actually pretty cool. It's called a Jack Wolfskin. Never really heard of the brand. Apparently it was a special through whatchamacallit, Sierra Trading Post here in Fort Collins. It's pretty cool though. The backpack has a standard top that buckles down. It's got some storage in here, and then it also has some storage inside. There's a zipper right here with a drawstring top and bottom, and then it's got some storage areas. This actually opens up into the inner compartment, and then in the bottom is another storage area. And then this is set up inside here to accept a typical camelback type of situation. What I ended up doing is the sack that you're going to see over here is what I keep my hammock and tarp in. Actually fits in this lower storage portion right here, and then you can strap your roll, bedroll, and then your sleeping bag basically fit kind of in the top of this and then strap down just like that. But it's pretty cool, neat little deal. All in all, I don't know. I was a little disappointed with how much it weighed. It's more than a tent, but I think it's much more versatile. Anyway, thanks for listening. Give you another view of the equipment kind of hanging there. I forgot to mention this, but I had some technical difficulties with the video that I actually took of the trip, which is why I'm kind of going over some of this. So, rather disappointing. Had some really cool views. Like I said, it was super high up. Anyway, for what it's worth, everything seemed to work out very well. And I will link again to how all this was made. Thanks. Alright, a couple of last things. Got to try out some new gear. This is called a Sawyer Life Straw. This essentially is the filter, the straw that you drink out of, and almost like a little platypus bag. And although the system works really well, the only disappointing thing is this only holds 16 ounces of water, so it was rather difficult to get anything out of it. Did have a chance to play with another piece of equipment. This is similar to a solo stove. These things kind of fit together, kind of like that. I'll show you a video that I've got of some wood burning in it. Worked very well. It actually can have a little, what's called a pop can alcohol stove put inside of it. That was a little disappointing. I don't think it was set up quite right, and both of those need to have probably a wind filter for them, but they pack down pretty nice. It's also a little disappointing the but the pot that I bought to go with it and that I thought this would store in it did not work. Pot worked well, I didn't mean that, but this doesn't store and break down inside of it. This is a little titanium cup. I'd pull it out, but it's pretty standard. It's a little 450 milliliter. All in all, great little setup. Everything seemed to work really well. I don't know. Again, thanks for listening, and talk to you soon.